Okay, so this is going to be rotation 2-3. We're going to take path 2, really common rotation to do, generally regarded as one of the easier ones. Don't have to deal with the minions, which is always nice. So this is just going to be the one clip. I'm just going to look at just basically a fast, efficient kill. I'm not going to do a low gear setup because it really doesn't drastically change very much at all on this path. So it's a short one, but I'm going to be a little bit more in detail about exactly when to use certain abilities. So let's get into it. So the usual stuff, make sure your scrimshaw's on, make sure your aura and your familiar are up. Same as on path 1-2, you're just going to open up with basics. Because in this case we don't have to Zerk in P2, we can actually build up to 100 Adren and go for an early Zerk and Adren pot in P1. So that's pretty much what you do. You can, as I mentioned in the last video, you can just use thresholds if you want to do the same thing. Sometimes you won't quite make it before the web burns down though, which is a bit frustrating. So this is all pretty straightforward. Your Adren pot, your assault, to where most of your damage is coming from, and you want to try to get off a hurricane as well. And that will really do Rax well and truly right before the web comes down. Like, there's no, if you're Zerking, there's no reason why you shouldn't be down before it is. Now, pre-phase him here, so I wait for him to do a special, and then I surge down the pathway, and that way it's guaranteeing he's going to have to do 5 auto attacks before his next special on P2. Now, in this one here, if I could just pause it for a sec. Whoop. There's people have different ways of luring Rax onto the acid. I choose to run up the ramp and then surge back down. The reason being that if you can I've seen some people like kind of run here and they wait for Rax to come up and then they run towards him. The downside of that is Rax will get 1 or 2 autos in on you for free, which is not a big deal for damage, but it does speed up the speed at which he does his specials, and it can fuck up the timing for later on when you drag him up the ramp. So I prefer to run up here and then barge straight down, and that means that he just doesn't auto at the same time, and it just makes it a lot smoother. Then you're just going to use your thresholds to whittle him down. Your assault, your bleeds, that sort of thing. Pretty straightforward. You want to get him to like at least 50k before you get him down. Now, a really important thing here is we want the acid, the little acid bite P, we want that to reach about 55 to 60% before we drag Araxxor up the path. So he needs at least 50% acid to break the ramp. And that extra 5 or 10% just gives you a little bit of leeway. What's really important is that you have either your Hurricane or your Quake available for when you hit about 55-60%. And I'll show you why in a minute. So we're going to continue the kill. I'm almost at the 55 mark. This is low on rage. I pretty much just DPS through the web. I don't want him healing back too much. Get a little cheeky res off. It's a bit of a shit one. And then we can surge up the pathway. And another really critical thing as well. You notice that I swap... Fucking hell, media player. I swap to my Dark Bow when I surge up. The reason is it's got mobile on it. It's a really common perk to have mobile and Aftershock 1 on your Dark Bow for swapped. The reason that that's beneficial for surging up is because your surge is then only on like a 9-second cooldown, or whatever the hell that is. And that means that if you're unlucky and Araxxor spawns the one shot, the Jihadi spider straight away, you can just surge back down the ramp, and it just reduces the amount of time that Araxxor spends running up and down the ramp, wasting his acid on nothing. So surge up the ramp. You want to stand either 1 or 2 spots down. And that way you're out of melee distance, but you've still got 1 step back, so that if he cleaves, you don't get fucked by it. Now, the other really important thing, so P2 is all about timing here. Really important. The first thing I'm going to do when Araxxor walks up the path is I'm going to Hurricane. If you don't have Hurricane up, you can do the same thing with Quake, because they both have 20-second cooldowns. The reason we do that is, boom, that goes on cooldown. Now, I'm going to just keep whittling them down with thresholds and basics, and I'm going to keep an eye on this cooldown, because when either your Hurricane or your Quake is just back up again, pretty much when it fully does the 20 seconds, you're going to use that juicy ability called Natural Instinct, which you'll see here. So I've swapped to my Ring of Vigor. My Hurricane's just come off cooldown. You pretty much want to use this on the tick it comes off cooldown or 1 second before. Natural Instinct, I'm actually going to leave my Vigor on, just saves one more switch. And then you just do your basics. You want to get to about 74 or 90% adrenaline. If he does a jihadi spider like this, you can pretty much ignore it at this point because the thing's about to break anyway. And this one, I only get 74, and then to get it up a little further, I use Anticipate. That puts it to 90, and then you Surge here, alright? Because it puts you in a perfect position over here, where you're not going to be standing here and getting cleaved when you can't run back. You're going to be over here in the space, and it puts you at 100% adren. We've still got Natural Instinct running, although it's not going to show on the debuff bar here because this is fucked. But now we can Zerk. Plan and Feat Zerk, and we've still got Natural Instinct, so our adrenaline goes up super quick. It's like a free adren pot. And then you do your normal shit. You do your Assault, you do your Hurricane. I usually leave Assault until after he's done a special, just in case he doesn't do like a web first. And that's going to pretty much bring Rax to the next phase. A lot of damage. I don't think I did it here properly because Crackling and Aftershock or something fucked me up, but you want to pre-phase it properly there. He did the swipe ability, the cleave ability, but because it didn't really finish the animation, I think he specials straight away on P4. Also, I didn't get to 100 adren, so not quite there. The other issue you can face is that you're Berserk. Well, sometimes if you do a very fast P3, it's not going to be on cooldown straight away for P4. So you kind of have to wait a little bit, which is a bit annoying. So I usually open up with like a Hurricane or something. You just kind of chill and wait a bit. You wait for your Zerk to come off. Make sure you're 100 adren, and then after it does a special, then you do your Berserk. Don't stand in melee distance like I did then, because it will really hurt. You adren pot, and I was a little slow on getting my Assault out, and I think he actually does a special here. Yeah, which is only Darkness, it doesn't matter, but if he'd done like a Cocoon, it slows the cooldown. And then your Hurricane, you still got Berserk up. You absolutely wreck Rax at this point. You just basic the last 25k. And that's that. And that was a new record for me as well. So, yeah, it's a really nice, smooth, safe way to do the kill. It's, yeah, it's quick. It's not the absolute quickest. You can shave off a few seconds. I can't remember what the actual record is on P2, but you can definitely shave off quite a bit on that with other methods. But that's a really nice, easy way with the Natural Instinct in P2 to get you into P3, and then the Zerk Adren pot in P4. Yeah. Also, I don't think I did it here, and it's also low on rage, so it didn't matter too much. But when you pop your Zerk, it's one more thing to click, but you really should be proccing your Excalibur as well, because that'll help mitigate, especially higher rages, a lot of the damage the extra damage you take from Berserk. So make sure you're doing that too. I didn't mention that in the last clip, but very, very, very handy. So there you go. That's the guide there, guys. Hope you can take something out of it. Enjoy.